All right, we have Warlords of the Deep versus Brave Collective. They have brought two shockingly different team comps we have not seen this entire day. No, they are wearing the exact same colors, the exact same ships. They've warped in directly on top of each other. The only difference between the two is that Warlords has brought their logistics frigates slightly farther away. Wingnut, tell me about that amazing decision that they've done.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I like that, to be honest, but this is going to be... What? There's also a couple of Lokis from Warlords as well that are a little bit further back. No, that's Brave, sorry, my bad. And this is going to be crazy, man. All these ships at 0 at the start. Everyone's going to be overheated. Their adapters going to be overheated. Their guns are going to be overheated. Let's go.
Yeah, this initial 5 seconds is going to basically decide this entire match right now. Warlords is going straight onto a scalpel, which is completely different than what we've seen anyone else do here with this setup. Everyone's been trying to burst through their damage, but Warlords is going after a Logi trade, where Brave is going after a Nighthawk.
I'm actually picking a Logi and a Nighthawk at the same time. We're seeing both sides doing the same thing here. And so that scalpel gone already, straight through hull and pop. And while the Kieran side is holding quite well in shields, but the Nighthawk is actually going low in shields.
I'm not sure if it's worth it. I mean, a scalpel for a Nighthawk, Nighthawk is down. The other Nighthawk is down, so 2 dead already.
This is wild. 2 scalpels down, 1 Nighthawk down. The second Nighthawk is now in hull. This is an interesting trade. This might end up going Warlord's way, but that looks like it's a little bit better for Brave at the moment. We'll see if the Logi loss hurts them, as the Kieran goes down now as well.
Yeah, the Warlords does still have 1 Kieran, though, one Kieran's not really going to do that much. Warlords is actually clearing both a Nighthawk and a Svipple of Kraid at the same time here. Soldier is barely holding on, 50% shields, 40% shields.
Interesting to note as well, the final Kieran for Warlords is being absolutely smothered in Hornet ECs. I'm curious that they're still trying to shoot him. They probably should just leave him alone if he's that jammed out. But
well, they left him alone by killing him, so...
Yeah. The Svipple's gone down for Brave. Nighthawk's now in low shield for both sides. I think at this point, it's starting to tend towards Warlords of the Deep now. They've got rid of the Swipple, which is more DPS removed.
Oh, it's really hard to tell, though.
Yeah, it's very close. This can still tip over. One lucky jam from those Hornet ECs could actually end this match and bring it back to Brave. But at the moment, actually, it might be actually Brave's side at the moment. They're once again ahead in the DPS race, but they are losing their support wing.
Well, a big difference here is that Warlords is actually running mostly DPS drones, or Brave is running full EC drones. So, Warlords does have a little bit more ships on the grid. But like you said, I mean, a couple jams here. The 3 Svipples up, which is a mass amount of DPS we don't usually talk about, though. I think I was questioning Warlords' decision to take down those Svipples right off the bat. But maybe they kind of knew that this was going to turn into a match like this where everyone's about even, a little bit more on their side.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to these DPS races, in my opinion, it's always remove the highest DPS for the lowest tank, and the Swipples are definitely one of those things. Nighthawks are the heaviest tank he has. The last Swipple goes down, so now it's Nighthawk 2 Lokis versus Nighthawk 2 Lokis and 3 Swipples.
That looks like it's Swipples. That's like 1,500 DPS right there. It's basically another Nighthawk and a half. So that's, like you said, Warlords just slightly out-target called here. Maybe. I mean, we never know. Looks like Warlords is going to lose their last Nighthawk first, though. So now we're going to have a Nighthawk 2 Lokis versus 3 Swipples and 2 Lokis.
Yeah, and now Brave has the same opportunity now that Warlords does. They can pick a Swipple off and just remove it. 2 Lokis and Nighthawk can just delete the Swipple. As you see here, they're going for a Swipple now. This could still go Brave's way. Nighthawk's now going into armor. If he's got any shield breeds left, he needs it. But you think he's done as well. Straight into hull. Oh, this is crazy.
Well, and the Svipples aren't actually moving. They're sitting right on top of him, probably just overheating their life out. I want to say Warlords has this. I mean,
they have it.
It's tough, though. What if those Lokis are ASB fit? You never know.
That's true. There might be some difference in fit here. I suspect they're going to be almost like identical fit even, but I'm actually saying Smart Bomb. Is that Smart Bombs from the Warlords Loki?
Yeah, the Warlords Lokis are using Smart Bombs, which is
I wonder if they're
different.
firewalling themselves by accident. Or they're firewalling the enemy, maybe. That's very interesting.
It is entirely possible. Roland, also known as BAP, also known as one of the main theory crafters for Brave, has said, good job, go get him. I think they've maybe conceded the match there. They know it's over here, but man, that was tight. I was really interesting,
so. At least in my opinion, the match immediately turned once Warlords picked off the small stuff. Yes, Brave killed those big ships, but the time it took for them to do it, they lost all their Swipples, and honestly, even though Warlords picked on the small ships, they managed to keep up in the killing of the bigger stuff, which was amazing. Yeah,
Svipples do a shockingly large amount of DPS here. I do think obviously, our little analyst guys are going to be chatting about this, but I'm going to steal a little bit of their thunder, and you did too. That the Spipples being left alive, like that was powerful, powerful move on Warlord's part to just focus on that DPS and take out all the small stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you see a Hecate on field, you always go for that as soon as you can because it's not going to be super tank, but it will have a lot of DPS.
Yeah, and we've seen Warlords now run this comp. I think like the entire day they've basically been running the same thing. So I'm wondering, is this their A game comp, or is this sort of their like, this is the one we're willing to show? I mean, it seems very effective.
I think this is probably like what I call like their main like backbone comp. It's the one I can use whenever they want, but they've definitely got more in the bank somewhere. I'm just curious what they're going to be because there's definitely going to be a counter to this comp in some way, and I'm curious to see what it'll end up being. But there's the last Loki dead.
Yeah, and with that Loki dead, Brave did an amazing run. They only lost to Tuskers and Warlords, so huge props to them. Warlords does get to move on. That is the last game we are going to see them play today. However, tomorrow they're going to have a lot of matches to play, so I hope they can get some rest. And we're going to be moving it back to the studio.